Newsmax host Greg Kelly doesn't believe that impeachment should be happening and doesn't seem to think that what happened on January 6th was a big deal. But that might be because he has a very interesting idea of what actually happened on January 6th. Take a look at this.
Believe begins tomorrow, or the trial. They already impeached President Trump. We know it's a joke. We know he's not responsible for what happened on Capitol Hill. He specifically said, march peacefully and patriotically. We all heard that, right? By the way, if he really did break the law, they could charge him in DC court. They could, but he didn't, so they can't, all right? The thing is a joke. They've been lying about so much, including, by the way, that 5 people died on January 6th, 2021. It's not true. Only 1 person died on that day. You know who it was? The unarmed woman, Ashley Babbitt. Unarmed woman shot and killed by Capitol Police. We've heard very, very little about that case. And you know what? That bothers me.
So I don't know exactly how to respond to that. I'm taking it seriously because Newsmax now occasionally beats Fox News in the ratings. So in theory, they're a serious thing. But it is not true that only 1 person died. At least 5 people died on that day. Others died afterward. He thinks it was only that 1 person. So we had been all worried about the fact that they beat a cop to death and tried to beat other cops to death. But he apparently just denies that that happened at all. What are we supposed to say in that case? He's got tons of people watching him that I guess don't have to think about the cognitive dissonance of saying that they support the blue, but that they're the people who agree with them beat a cop to death, because they don't have to accept that it actually happened at all.
Yeah, these are outlets and pundits that didn't really care during the George Floyd uprising over the summer about police brutality. Now all of a sudden, when someone's breaking it, and these are people who were, for Breonna Taylor was sleeping, for George Floyd, who was allegedly using a counterfeit 20 and then had a knee on his neck for 7 minutes. Those are blatant murders, and now you have someone breaking into the Capitol, being shot because she was breaking through a busted window despite being told no. And like now all of a sudden they're like, wow, this is so tragic. We need to talk about this more. It's like, yes, we should talk about police killings, but we should talk about all of them. And to frame this as some sort of like innocent victim, I think is a bit rich after their blind eyes for years. So yeah, from that to ignoring other people that were killed, ignoring the violence and barbarism and destruction throughout the rest of the insurrection. It's just so funny to see this heel turn from people like that at Newsmax. But while we want to just kind of dismiss them as some fringe outlet, it's not. It's becoming more popular because people are ever increasingly turning to more and more fringe content like that, because just they've been thrown red meat for years by Fox. Once Fox finally realized, like, oh, we can't really do this anymore. We're getting sued. We're losing advertisers. Like everything is starting to, come into jeopardy. Then they went to Newsmax. They go to OAN. They're going to go somewhere else after that. So this is just, you've created this problem, and now they've just cannibalized the mainstream institutions, and they're moving on.
Because some whack job can say this stuff and get away with it, and other things that I wanted guns at my rally. Okay, now I'm speaking. Why would I want guns? I don't want people standing with guns in my rally.
I don't remember seeing any AR-15s at the Capitol.
Well, she wasn't complaining. And the other thing about this woman, she wanted to work for me after January 6th. She was a big Trump fan. She wanted to work for me in Florida. And we chose not to bring her down because I got very bad things. I hardly knew her.
There we go. That's the one. Pull the I hardly knew her out from whenever a woman accuses you or goes on record with all the heinous things you've done. And of course, if you didn't guess by now, Donald Trump is talking about Cassidy Hutchinson, who testified earlier in the week to the January 6th committee. And he's speaking there with Newsmax. And he's saying, oh, she wanted to work with me, and also I don't know her and who. And anyway, I don't even think she worked for us. She didn't have a lanyard. And of course, you've got the Newsmax host there. egging him on. Like, he was like, I don't want anyone armed, even though we heard on the record Cassidy Hutchinson say that he was mad that more people weren't being let in to the demonstration, the Stop the Steal rally on the 6th because they were armed. He says, I didn't want them armed. And then the Newsmax host just going, yeah, it's not like there were AR-15, just a few Glocks.
Yeah, he's like, I was there. I don't remember there being anything. We were terrible. We were all lying on your behalf, Mr. President. But what a great journalist to push back. That's his follow-up question. You're right. But like, here's the thing. He says, she wanted to work for me, right? And he didn't hire her. But my rejoinder to that is, buddy, like, there is no world in which her testifying against Donald Trump as a Republican operative essentially makes it more likely she's ever gonna get a job.
Right.
This is all a risk. This is way harder for her to get a job after she's gone out and done the opposite of what this Newsmax host has done. There's the proof there. Yep. A no-name moron can get any job anywhere in conservative news so long as he doesn't do what Hutchinson did.
And I said, well, if she's no good, I got somebody called up, numerous people, that she's not good. I won't say why that she's not good, but plenty of reasons.
Why?
I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say that she was not respected by the people in the White House. So they thought she shouldn't go down. I was going down to Florida with a group of people, great group of people, patriots, and her name was thrown out there and they said, stay away from her. They said bad things about her. And then I see her and I hardly know who she is. And then I see this woman getting up and she's making up stories like one after another. But the craziest of all was that I tried to commandeer, I think they used that word, I tried to commandeer a car with Secret Service agents telling them to take us down to the Capitol. It was totally false, and that a person can get away with it. And then I watch the Times and the Washington Post, and I get reviews on MSDNC and CNN. They hardly even talk about the fact that she's been totally discredited.
Has she been totally discredited? We'll get into that in a second. But so there he is. I hardly knew her. This is like the top aide to Mark Meadows, your chief of staff. She was there in a lot of these rooms. Otherwise, she wouldn't have had so much to divulge. So clearly, someone's lying. And that little upturn of the eyes, that's totally false. I didn't want to go to the Capitol and reign over my incredible mess and try to force my way onto the floor. Him next to like dude with the buffalo horns, I can't